Hello, thank you for joining me today. My name is Lisa Jett, and I am the program consultant from the Division of Assessment and Accountability Support that works with the K-Screen program. Today, we will be conducting our Refresh K-Screen training, which will include Infinite Campus and the online management system. Let's get started. Here are the objectives for today. This training will provide updates and procedures for district kindergarten screen contacts. It will provide kindergarten screen training content for experienced staff. Today, we will be covering the purpose of the Common Kindergarten Entry Screener, the ordering process, timeline, training requirements for Gantt Screen, Infinite Campus, the Online Management System or OMS, and resources that will help you during your K-Screen window. The purpose of the Common Kindergarten Entry Screener is to produce point-in-time student-level results that indicate level of school readiness in the 5 domains: adaptive, cognitive, communication, motor, and social and emotional. The Common Kindergarten Entry Screener data may be used as a system of measurement that can inform stakeholders about early learning in order to close school readiness gaps, make informed policy decisions at the local level that will support early learning experiences prior to school entry, establish local goals for program improvement in order to achieve early learning outcomes, and to include data as evidence in kindergarten through the 3rd grade program evaluation. Let's take a look at the ordering process for the K-Screen window. The K-Screen ordering window closed April 10. Initial orders will begin shipping the week of May 8th. The Office of Assessment and Accountability recommended having the materials shipped to a central location or the district's Board of Education if this delivery window is during the district's summer vacation. Supplemental or late orders may still be placed by contacting myself, Lisa Jett, or DAC Info at dacinfo@education.ky.gov. The Office of Assessment and Accountability and Curriculum Associates cannot guarantee supplemental or late shipments will arrive before the screening window. If any schools within the district are in need of replacement kits or pieces, please contact the Office of Assessment and Accountability through DAC Info or by emailing me at lisa.jet@education.ky.gov. I will place you in contact with the Curriculum Associates personnel who will help you with this process. Let's take a few moments to look at the proposed timeline for the 2023-2024 school year. Curriculum Associates is working on shipping the initial K-Screen orders since the window is closed on April 10th. These materials will begin shipping May 8th, so your trainings can begin in June. Please take note of the August 1st date. This is a projected date of when OMS accounts will be available. Please refer to DAC emails to ensure that this date has or has not changed. You will also notice that districts will have access to K-Screen data reporting in February. The scores will then be released in the fall with the fall release of state assessment data. One of the most important tools you have for the K-Screen process is the implementation guide. This is revised every year and linked on our Common Kindergarten Entry Screener webpage. Encourage your school-level administrators to refer to this guide with any questions concerning the K-Screen. Please send feedback about topics missing from this guide to me. I want to make sure it is as beneficial as possible for Kentucky's educators. Let's talk about training requirements for this year. New district trainers must attend the 6-hour Train the Trainers module presented by Curriculum Associates. If you look back at the timeline, you will notice that we have one scheduled for July 20th. This will be an in-person training at the Sauer Building in Frankfort. If you cannot attend the July 20th training, the Office of Assessment and Accountability and Curriculum Associates will also have a second virtual option on August 8th and 9th. New teachers administering the screen need to attend a 3-hour training provided by the district trainer. It is acceptable to provide these virtually. Experienced district trainers are required to watch this refresh training video that you are currently viewing. Experienced teachers administering the screen must receive a 1-hour refresher session that is provided by their district trainer. Lastly, all new and experienced data entry staff must view the training materials posted on the Common Kindergarten Entry Screener website. Experienced district trainers, please remember that you may use the K-Screen refresh or portions of it in your district trainings. Each year, everyone who administers, manages, or enters data is required to take some form of training. It is required that you keep sign-in sheets and agendas of each training on file for 1 year, or from one training until the next. There is an implementation agreement that also must be signed by each person trained. This is located on our website and in the Implementation Guide, Appendix A. The Office of Assessment Accountability and Curriculum Associates will once again be hosting office hours this fall to assist educators with topics such as the Brigance Screener, the online management system, data collection, and more. Details will be communicated in K-Screen updates and Monday DAC emails. Let's take a look at the screener itself. First, you need to determine your screening window. As you start to order materials, it is also important to plan your screening window. The window begins no earlier than 15 calendar days before the first day of school, and it cannot exceed the 30th instructional day. Keep in mind that all data must be entered into the OMS and Infinite Campus within 15 days after the window closes, but no later than October 15th. If you use the Brigance to pre-screen students in early registration, those results cannot be used as the screen was not administered during the official window. You will need to rescreen. It is important to ensure if you screen students before school begins, you are within this window as this is regulated by law. Be sure not to plan screening that conflicts with the district or school professional development days. Take a moment and write down notes about your screening window and when your data entry window would close. Now let's look at collecting prior setting data. This is something schools could be doing now or in the spring, but regardless, it should be on your radar. If not, make sure to collect prior setting data during kindergarten kickoff events, open house, etc. A letter and form located on our K-Screen website and in the implementation guide asks parents or guardians to let us know what setting the enrolling students were in for the year prior to kindergarten. That might be a home, private sitter, daycare, preschool, Head Start, or kindergarten itself. If you're not receiving parent input, pull rosters from preschool and Head Start to use in conjunction with parent forms. This information can be collected at any time. Only students who are actively enrolled need to have prior settings data entered in Infinite Campus. Kindergarten screening results are derived from both prior settings data in Infinite Campus and screener data entered into the online management system. If there is prior settings data in Infinite Campus for a student, they will be listed in the kindergarten screening results. Please keep in mind when screening that repeating kindergarten students will be screened again, just as all other students. Their prior setting data will be recorded as kindergarten in Infinite Campus. Repeating kindergarten students will ultimately have 2 entries for prior setting, one for last year and one marked kindergarten for this year. Let's move on to the staff file. The District Assessment Coordinator, the DAC, will access the spreadsheet from the KDE Secure Web Application site. Choose Student Data Detail. The staff file is included in one zip file called SD24 district number _K _screen _district name. If you are unable to access the KDE Secure Application site, check with your WAPOC and/or the KDE Help Desk. The KDE Help Desk can be reached at 564-2002. Your district spreadsheet will be pre-populated with the information submitted for the 2022-2023 school year. Please review and make any corrections or additions as needed. Then upload the updated staff file to the 2023-2024 K-Screen Staff File Submission Google form. This must be completed by July 1st. More information will be provided in the May K-Screen update. Once you have ordered materials, you've completed the trainings, and the staff files are submitted, you're ready to screen. This is a list of items each individual screening student needs. Feel free to use this slide if you review the notes on core assessments found in the implementation guide. It's not required, but could be a helpful recalibration if staff who administered screening haven't reviewed this or had a chance to discuss the items in a while. Remember that it is crucial to abide by the directions exactly as written in the manual. Maintain consistency, screen all students exactly the same way, adhere to the discontinue points. It may be helpful to place Post-its as tabs on the places in the screen for quick reference. Make sure you review the implementation guide before beginning, and you may want to keep it handy as a quick reference point when administering the screener, scoring the screener, and entering data into Infinite Campus. You can provide the self-help social-emotional form to parents, or you can complete the self-help social-emotional scales through interview if you think that will be more productive. The script is in your training manual. Keep a list of those students that haven't returned this, as it is important to administer this during the window. If after multiple attempts to collect you still don't have this, the teacher may complete it. Please ensure that each item has a response. Screening using iPads is a method some may use to enter scores directly into the online management system. This would only be an option after mid-August when OMS is live. We will let districts know when the online management system is live and operational. Teachers would need to have a backup tablet or iPad on hand in the event of technical difficulties. The results are entered as the student is screened. If this method is used, please remember that a copy must be placed in the student's permanent record, whether that be printed or virtual. This is a vital part of the screen, and that data must be entered during the testing window. Teachers also need to be ready and trained in the paper format should the internet connection fail. The Office of Assessment and Accountability will not accept non-participation requests for the K-Screen. The K-Screen is a screening tool designed to help districts quickly and effectively identify children's strengths and needs, thus allowing educators to plan individualized instruction and identify students who might need tiered instruction through the use of the Kentucky System of Intervention. It is not a summative assessment. We often have questions regarding nonverbal students. When considering nonverbal students, it is important to remember that this is a screener and not an assessment with accountability. It is okay if students cannot respond correctly to every prompt. Teachers can still gain a lot of valuable information during the screen. After consultation with our accommodation specialist and consulting the Brigance manual, our guidance is to at least attempt the test, possibly enlisting the assistance of someone familiar with the child's communications methods. If a student cannot answer something, mark the data sheet appropriately and move on to the next item. Now that we've reviewed the case screen itself, let's look at Infinite Campus. In order for the Brigance data to be entered into the online management system, Infinite Campus information must be set up correctly. Data files are extracted from Infinite Campus and create files in the online management system for student assignment and assessment data. It is very important for communication and collaboration to happen between your district Infinite Campus contact, the person that will enter the new kindergarten data into Infinite Campus, and you to ensure things are set up correctly from the beginning. This will save a lot of time and stress during the screening window. Prior setting data should be collected prior to the screening process. It is important to collect this information during kickoff events, kindergarten open houses, camps, and can be placed in registration packets. This information is entered into Infinite Campus. Data entry clerks must watch the videos associated with prior setting. They are located on KDE's Common Kindergarten Entry Screener webpage. When entering the data, it is important to only account for the setting 1 year prior. Repeating kindergarten students will have a prior setting of kindergarten. Let's take a look at the online management system. The Online Management System, or OMS, is the online tool for entering Brigance data. Both core assessment data and social, emotional, and self-help skills will be entered into OMS. The OMS resets each year and all data will be pulled from Infinite Campus into the OMS. The staff file that is due July 1st is the first step in Curriculum Associates setting up the OMS accounts for your district and schools. Once Curriculum Associates receives that file, they will set up the school and class list as well as the user list and teacher list. It is important to check that number 1, are all schools listed and teachers at each school? Number 2, are all teachers listed and are the email addresses correct? Please make sure that the district email address is listed and not their personal email address. This is a sample school class list. Here you will see Adair County, the district, is listed as a level 1. Adair County Primary is the school and is listed as a level 2. Level 3 would be each teacher that belongs to the building. It is also important to check the user list. These users are the teachers, data entry clerks, and administrators that need access to the online management system. It is important that the email addresses are the correct district email as well. New to the online management system this year is a change in the user's function. Educators marked as administrators within OMS will be able to add other administrators to the OMS directly. School staff will need to submit a revised staff file to add additional data clerks to the OMS. Once submitted, revisions should be processed by the online management system by the following Wednesday. Classroom teachers should not be on the staff file. Teachers and students will be pulled into the online management system through a data transfer process with Infinite Campus. Infinite Campus feeds data to the online management system. The file is pulled from Infinite Campus to populate the class and user list in the online management system. Every week during the screening season, a new student file from Infinite Campus will be uploaded into the OMS. Due to the 1-week lag between syncing district and state editions of Infinite Campus, the changes made are not usually seen for up to 2 weeks. That's why it's critical for schools to communicate with you about missing or incorrect students in the OMS immediately. The weekly refresh doesn't work for users and classes, only students. This is also the only way students are uploaded into the online management system. KDE cannot add or delete students from the online management system. Before contacting me, please check Appendix M in the implementation guide to troubleshoot entering data into Infinite Campus and the online management system. Let's look at what a student profile looks like in the online management system. Here is a fictional student, Lucy Johnson. To begin entering data for Lucy, users will click the Enter New Screening Data on the right side of the screen, middle of the page. This is the only time you will choose this feature, only when no screening information is entered. The core assessment data page will come up and users will enter the student results from the student data sheet. Or, if you are screening with tablets, you will enter data as you assess. You have a cancel, save, and submit to score button. It is important to save your information as you go along. Remember, only press submit to score if the student has both the core data and the self-help social emotional data fully entered. If duplicate data is created, there is guidance on how to clean this up on our website. The same applies for the self-help and social emotional scales. After entering that data, you will hit Save. Once all data is entered, Submit must be clicked on Core Assessment tab and the Self-Help Social Emotional tab. Many times, those entering the screening data fail to finish entering all data, or they enter everything and forget to hit the Submit to Score button. It is important to know that the Submit turns to Submit to Score once all information is entered for each part, the core assessment and the self-help social emotional scales. Make sure users click Submit to Score, otherwise it appears that the student has not been screened. Please keep last year's update in mind in order to avoid data inaccuracies. Districts should not submit the self-help and social emotional skills data in OMS if there is no core screen data being entered for the student. You will need to enter and save the self-help social emotional skills data, but unless you have the core data, do not submit it. Now let's look closely at Lucy's profile. When I look at this, I can see that Lucy's core assessments are completely entered because the status is submitted. I also see that the self-help and social emotional scales are not complete. I can tell that because the status is saved. If you want to continue entering data, you will not click Enter New Screening Data. Instead, you will click into the assessment as the green arrow points to and continue entering data. Or it may be that it was simply not submitted to score. A common error is duplicate entries. Duplicate entries must be removed from the OMS in order for the data to be accurate. Not removing duplicate entries impacts the results of group screening data. You can follow the link on the bottom of this slide or visit our K-Screen webpage to find guidance on how to remove duplicate entries. This is the ultimate end result for each student profile. Submitted on each section indicates the data is complete. Nothing is missing, and each one has been submitted. The screened, not screened report is perfect for checking whether a child has saved data that hasn't been submitted, but be aware that it will say submitted even if the self-help, social, emotional data is missing. This looks at the core assessment data only. We talked about the importance of clicking Submit to Score. You want the pie chart to be all green. You should not have any blue unless you are still entering data. At the end of your data entry window, there should be no blue, which means saved. If you do have data that is saved but not submitted, you can look for specific students by exporting the report as a CSV file and filtering the screening status column for saved. Or you can scroll through the list provided under the pie chart. As you can see, the saved will be included in the list. Simply open that student's screen and submit for scoring. It is really important to utilize the CSV file. Exporting this group screening summary report as a CSV file is the only way to check for duplicate entries and missing self-help social emotional data. When checking for duplicate entries, you're going to run the report, uncheck the box that says to include only the most recent, sort the SSID column numerically, then set a rule to highlight duplicates. When checking for missing self-help or social emotional data, run the report, Make sure the box is checked to include only the most recent. Set filters and check for blanks in the column where the self-help social emotional scores should be. Here are a few OMS updates that were highlighted in our Back to School K-Screen video. Users can now search for students using the student ID number. When searching on OMS, users can now show up to 50 results at a time. The Actions drop-down menu allows users to manage multiple students at one time. And users can select those multiple students to move to a new location, set to active, and set to inactive using the Perform Action button. Here are some OMS reminders. Your OMS account might look perfect in early August, but I wouldn't count on it being operational. There are often issues that need to be resolved before student data can be entered. KDE will communicate when the OMS is ready to be used. This is important to know if you are screening with tablets or iPads. Also, in the past, some schools have tried to get ahead by setting up a homeroom under a school administrator's name so they could screen on iPads and sort the kids into homerooms later. The kids did not move automatically, and they had to manually move the students to the correct classes. A few data entry reminders. Avoid duplicate entries by only clicking a new screening session one time. Run reports to ensure all data is entered and submitted. Make sure the Submit to Score is clicked when all of the data is entered in order for the assessment to be considered complete. CSV files allow for filtering reports. Here are some resources that will help you during your screening window. These are important resources for the district K-Screen contact or administrator to review often and communicate with the appropriate people, such as those administering screens in the classrooms, principals, Infinite Campus district contact, data entry staff, and your DACs and BACs. These videos are important for viewing in order to familiarize yourselves with OMS. These go beyond the highlights that I have provided. I have included some in the following clips for you to share in your district trainings. Remember, these slides can be used in full or in part for the 3-hour new screen training and the refresher you provide to your trained staff. All are great for district trainings, but the Common Pitfalls video, part 10, is required. For the 3-hour district training, I would recommend part 3, part 4, part 6, and again, part 10. You can find training videos on the Kentucky Brigance webpage. You can use the link on the slide to navigate there. Here are some possible topics for experienced teachers and/or data entry trainings. This slide may help you in developing your own trainings for the upcoming school year. The K-Screen implementation has several requirements at different times of the year, different places to enter data, etc. While it's not a difficult process, there is a lot to it. That being said, I have broken it down into what needs to be completed in the upcoming weeks. Take a moment to review this information. Now comes next steps. Once you have completed what is on the previous slide, use this slide as a resource for what comes next. Again, use all the resources that are available to help you navigate the year. I think it is important to know that you should share the results with families. We pull the data to report school readiness, and it is included in your district open house data found on the KDE website. Kindergarten screen data from 2017 to present can be found on the Kentucky School Report Card page. Thank you for joining me today. If you have any questions, please reach out to me and I'll be more than happy to help you. You may contact me by emailing me at lisa.jet@education.ky.gov or reaching out by phone at 502-564-4394, extension 4755. Thanks for joining me and have a great day.